Thanks for staying with us. We're still reading Punch.
Yes, so yesterday I had taken the story of the three states in the north, Kebbi, Bauchi and Kano State, that had asked their schools to be closed down during the Ramadan. And so there's a response from, the response to that message, the news I read yesterday. They're saying that they're reaffirming that the holiday granted to both primary and secondary schools in their states for Ramadan fast will not be reconsidered, despite, of course, concerns that were raised by CAN, that's the Christian Association of Nigeria. The Kebbi State governor, through his secretary, says that they are not reversing the decision. The closure of schools was a result of meetings with all relevant stakeholders, including religious leaders, parents, and others. He says the leadership of CAN and the Muslim community were carried along before the decision was reached. He explained that the closure would only affect a maximum of 2 weeks from the initial academic calendar, emphasizing that it would not disrupt school activities. Normal school calendar already had factored in the closure for the fasting period, so the issue of disrupting the academic calendar doesn't arise. Also, the Kano State Director of Public Enlightenment also said that there's no reason why the state government would reverse the directive, as the decision to close the schools was taken after meeting with all relevant stakeholders. So it looks like there was a meeting. They're also saying that parents were involved. They said they actually took the Christian Association of Nigeria along as well, that they were fully represented at those meetings. So probably they were represented, but they may not have agreed. But the thing is, this is what they have decided to do. But they also said that they had factored in that from the beginning. So the school calendar, had been drawn up based, knowing that those closures were going to happen.
From the start, I've always felt that, listen, see, the only way this country can move forward is if we understand and recognize differences. And if you don't like it, you may not understand it, but you got to respect it. And I'm happy that they've considered all these other factors. You might not like it, but based on your own worldview. But when you see this, as long as they consider the children's future, you consider education, that's all we should concern about. And I think they've shown that right now. So
and the academic calendar was factored in. So that's fine. So
let them be.
Residents of the Sam Etnan Air Force Base, Ikeja, Lagos State, are lamenting the 12-day blackout that has granted business and caused water scarcity in the barracks. They're saying that normally when things like this happen, they would ration the lights, but now nothing at all. And this is affecting small businesses like the tailors, the grocery stores, the laundry people, and essential services within the barracks. And now they are being forced to use their own generators, private generators, which is against the barracks rules. Yes. So they're saying that they've also rationed the use of water for just 30 minutes for the whole day, which is not possible for them. And it's between 6 a.m. and 6:30 a.m. And now they have to buy a gallon of water for 4,000 naira, and that's not sustainable. They're also saying that maybe the reason why this blackout has stretched for so long is because the barracks, they are owing the Ikeja electricity distributions company some money. So that they are begging that this should be sorted out, because it's not sustainable for them to keep buying water for that amount, for a gallon of water for 4,000 naira. How much are they really making? And that they are also abusing the rules within the barracks, which is to use private generators. So I just hope they sort this out, because that's a lot.
I've seen something. We've not had lights since Saturday. So when I called the disco yesterday in my district, what is happening? They said some miscreants pulled down the major poles on the express road of Badagry in front of the military barracks in Ojo, pulled it down just to break it off to extract iron. And so we are in darkness until that is reinstalled and wires are brought in. Over 300 something of wires. They took.
Why does it not electrocute?
So we will secure pipeline now, we'll secure wire again, we'll secure pole.
As in nobody sees them. Do they do this thing so fast that?
But there's sometimes Nigerians will look at them and pass. It's not my business. It's not my mother's property.
It's our civic responsibility also to
stop them.
Stop them. But
Those
nobody
boys,
cares. We'll just pursue.
See, the governor should just there is security threats in that area. Nobody can stop them.
Exactly.
They outnumber anybody. You better be going to your house.
It's a reconditioning of the mind of our Nigerians, because no matter what the law enforcement you send out, they can't cover the whole of the state.
They have no knowledge of.
It's with the people that must educate our people.
So Chokwe says something about human capital. They have no knowledge of the value of what they've destroyed. They destroyed it too.
Vanguard, Rivers crisis, I'm not scared of anything, says Governor Fubara. Ramadan Catholic bishops ask federal government to halt school closures. Nigeria loses trillions to illegal mine and says federal government. It's time to rescue PDP from imminent collapse, says concerned stakeholders. Picture story here will be at Chimamanda's book launch, and Tinubu receives Sierra Leone's president. NNPC of Dangote's price reduction excites petrol retailers. FG insures airport assets for 1.097 billion naira, says Keyamo. And Lagos Assembly of Asa returns Miranda. Okay.
The federal government said yesterday that it has secured insurance policy for all the airport assets in the country at the cost of over 1 billion naira. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, disclosed this while briefing journalists yesterday. He also said that it is ridiculous that for so many years we have all these expensive gadgets and assets and nobody thought of insuring them. That so this has been done now in line with international best practices, and for the Nigerian airports to also obtain certification from the International Civil Aviation Organization. Finally, they listed the companies that are going to chop from this. Leadway they'll chop from it now. Leadway Assurance, food don't call for them. Leadway Assurance Company Limited, which is the lead underwriters, while the four co-underwriters are Cornerstone Insurance, PLC, Linkage Assurance, NEM, and Anchor Insurance. Me, I wish I get insurance company because this is a good time.
Nigerians think of chop. They were trying to solve
the problem. It's a job. It's a job. If you get a contract, it's chop. You're happy.
It's a job that you earn money.
How much is chop now?
Anyways, in response to what the story Mariam took, so the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria, CBC, yesterday urged the federal government to intervene and halt the decision by some northern governors to close schools for the 5 weeks during Muslim fasting period. It came when the CBC and the statement expressed concern that the move undermines Nigeria's secular constitution, infringes on the rights of non-Muslim students, and exacerbates the already alarming rates of out-of-school children in the region. As I said earlier, I mean, we always see things from one perspective and feel that every other person doesn't see. But either way, it's important that both sides of the divide come together and see understanding from both sides. So it's the Catholic bishops have a point saying that we're a secular state. The other northern governors also have a point saying that we have considered the educational factors of our kids, and we're ensuring that they're not going to be totally out of the educational system if they partake in this break. So let's find a way to meet halfway. Okay, moving on quickly to the Nigerian Tribune. Let's find our paper for this morning. Nigerians await next move as Obasa returns and Miranda resigns. NDLA nabs drug baron after 17 years in hiding. South stands behind Senate President, says King Dakolo. Closure of schools, we talked about that already. Reps extend deadline for submission of memoranda on state creation and local government areas. Jandor, Nima's friend, quits Lagos PDP, blames indiscipline and anti-party activities. And then NPC reduces petrol price to 860 naira. Okay, which
Let me answer you, Jandor.
Okay.
So Jandor has resigned.
I need to take that story.
Nothing is wrong with him. So the former governorship candidate of the PDP in Lagos State has resigned from the party. He didn't explain anything. Just say he left the party because, of conspiracy of party leaders to ensure he's blaming them for the 2023 poll loss that he suffered. He says he also blames the national chairperson, leadership of the party for certain anti-party activities. He has not said where he's going. He just resigned, and
he carried his people with him.
Okay. Anyway, NDLA. That's shade. NDLA.
It's a fair question, Mariam. Go ahead, please. NDLA.
They've got a big fish. They say after 17 years of hiding in the dark to ship illicit drugs worth billions of naira across the world, the reign of a wanted 59-year-old drug baron, Ogbonnaya Kevin Jeff, has been brought to a halt following arrest by NDLEA. This was according to the CEO and chairman of NDLEA. They said that they've had they call it a red notice on him, and they've been watching him based on investigations, and finally he was arrested. They said this is in keeping with what they started 4 years ago, where they said that their prime targets are drug barons and other important figures who organize drug trafficking rings. And they said that they're able to achieve that objective with his arrest. He's been they said that their records revealed that many Nigerians apprehended outside the country for drug-related offenses were linked to him. They've established that he laundered drug proceeds through the importation of electronics and other goods, and that during his arrest, they found multiple Nigerian international passports belonging to different individuals, many of which contained Korean visas. They also recovered some illicit substances in the storehouse back at his house. You know, there's so many things that he had been involved in over the 17 years that he's been, you know, doing this business, and they're happy. He's also been locked up in Korea once for related to drug offenses, but for a year, and then he was deported to Nigeria, which did not stop him from Nigeria. He has his meals and constantly doing all that. So
well,
this is good news
to NDLA, fantastic.
And to Nigeria.
Yes, we wanted them to always catch the big guys, not the ones that are carrying the things in the airport. All right, let's go on a very short break. That's all we can take on Front Page Review right now. When we come back, we're bringing our guests for today. Remember, it's International Women's Month, and we're doing women's things all this month. So we have a special guest today. Hope you're staying tuned. We'll be right after the break. Don't go anywhere.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.